Okay.
Yes, sir. We are in live now.
Okay. So
So the
Abigail,
students are joining.
yeah, you can see the top right corner how many people are there.
Yes, Professor, I can see that.
So
Okay, so I will try
it's
sharing.
So very
increasing.
good morning to all our CIT students. And it is a great pleasure to have you all here for Knowledge 4.0 webinar series, which is one of the unique initiative of Chennai Institute of Technology under the guidance of our Honorable Chairman Shri P. Sriram, a successful first-generation entrepreneur, a well-known industrialist and managing director of NK Group of Companies. So you all know that our CIT, even in lockdown period, we are conducting so many webinar series. And now today, we are in technical webinar just in association with University of Texas Dallas. We are planning for a certification program, and today is the first day of it. So, certification program on project-based learning through Python, that is problem solving in Python. So, which is going to be now handled by Dr. J. Veerasamy, Director, Center for CS Education and Outreach, University of Texas, Dallas, and your instructor will be Mr. Abhigyan Sinha from University of Texas, Dallas. And it is a great pleasure now to welcome Dr. Jay Veerasamy sir, who is a senior lecturer in computer science and director of Center for Computer Science Education and Outreach in Eric Johnson School of Engineering and Computer Science. So over to you, sir. I don't want to waste the time, so you can start.
Yeah. So very good. Um, Abigail, can you make it a full screen?
Okay.
The present, maybe in the
Yeah.
top we can say present.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so welcome everyone. I know there's a lot more people be joining, so that's okay. I think they can catch up hopefully. And so after the initial discussion, what we thought is that since you guys have already completed Python, 1 semester course, I believe. Madam, is that correct? That they have completed 1 semester course on
Yes, sir.
Python? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I have even sent this. Yes, I have sent the syllabus to Mr. Abhigyan also.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So we thought we'll just start with some problems, okay? And this is, I don't know how many of you have logged in. I think you should have logged in because you have created the account. So we will all be able to kind of keep track of the how we are doing also. So this is this programming contest site. So here is the workshop description. We call it workshop. I don't know what you guys call it, but so what I thought is that knowing our Indian system and everything, many of you kind of escape out of real problem solving. Now sometimes you kind of do minimal problem solving and just get away with it. You know, this is one of those things. Programming is one of those things. You need more and more experience. That's the only way to become good at it. There's no magic way. You know, so probably several of you already know that, but others, so hopefully you kind of realize along the way. So so this is really, we are going to start extremely simple problems and work towards more complex ones. Okay, and hopefully it will be you can manage the pace. So what I told instructor is that we will go in a pace that at least half of you complete each problem. So if you cannot complete it, remember there is I think we are going to do 3 times a week, I believe. So you do have few days in between. So I encourage you to kind of work on it by yourself as much as you can, and get help from others. Okay, if needed. But as much as possible, though, individually you should try to work on. I told Abigail that he shouldn't just post the answers. Okay, he will give a lot of ideas and help you all the nuts and bolts, but we want you to complete it. So that's what the learning is. And if you present the solution and you do copy and do it, then what's the point, right? So if you do need, I think you already done Python course. I don't think you need this, but if you do need, I found these are all the places where you can go. And there are, I'm sure, plenty of more places really, online. So you can go and find more resources. Abigail will provide some more resources along the way too. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. So you have already created the account, right? All of you should have account because we already got your username with Catis. So let's see. What do I want to point out? So after this, after creating this, go ahead. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. So now go back to previous one.
Is this fine? Or
Previous one. And it may be sometimes slow. Yeah, this one.
okay.
Okay. So everybody, can you do this setup? Once you log into Catis, right? You have the open.catis.com. You should have already created your account, right? Open.catis.com and log in there. And I believe you can do that. So you see the top right corner, that funny icon. There, I believe you can do the expand the menu, click on the setting. And I think few of you have set properly, few of you may not have set properly. So there, select country, India, and subdivision Tamil Nadu and university. Select the Chennai Institute of Technology. If you have something else, you can just exit out and change Chennai Institute of Technology. Can we do the first poll to see how many have completed this? By the way, one more thing, if you scroll down, time zone is not very important. I don't think we are going to use a time zone, but no harm putting it in. Most important thing is at the bottom. I hope you can see it. Default programming language, make sure it says Python 3. Okay, do all these settings and save. Can you create a poll to see
Yes,
how many are completed?
Okay.
So I want you guys to complete and then take the poll and say yes. That way we know that you have completed. I'm also going to check in one page here.
Just a minute.
Are you adding it?
Yes.
Or shall I?
I'm
Okay. Okay.
This will be a good experience for him since we have to use it. Okay, now I see the numbers going up. That's good. Everybody understand the steps? So log into open.catis.com. Where is the chat here? In case people forgot the site, right? Open.catis.com is the site. Madam, is everybody able to see the open.catis.com?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I posted. So there you log in, and we want you to change your university to so basically go under setting, this top right corner, that funny image, and click on that setting and change, set everything, country, subdivision, university. And you may be wondering, why are we doing it? Well, mainly,
So
I guess at least it's a bragging rights.
So I see 90% of them have said yes, and now okay.
How many have said yes?
And now it's 80% and 11%.
80%. Okay, let me check online too here, the number. Somehow there's a delay or something. I'm checking. User says only 21 so far online. It says the Chennai Institute of Technology. Everybody make sure you say click submit. Don't say you have done it before you do it, okay? There's no hurry, So make sure you submit. So go to next page, Karna.
Yes.
So once you submit, when you go to your home page, your university should appear. You know what? I'm going to turn off video too. That way you can see better, hopefully. So now your main page, home page, you click on update in the bottom, then you should see your India, Tamil Nadu, Chennai Institute of Technology. So if you don't see that, that means you haven't done properly. You have to go back to that step and finish that. Okay, now I see 36. Maybe it's a server slowdown too. Maybe.
Yeah, that might be the issue.
Yeah. We can also, madam, later also we can probably send this as a reminder to everybody. Just to, yeah, it's slowly increasing now. So how many people said they have completed?
The percentage is, Professor, 86 for yes
86.
and 13 for no.
Okay. I mean, if you may have maybe troublesome logging in or something like that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so while people are doing it, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so Abigail, can you copy that link and post it in chat?
Yes, Professor.
What you are going to do is we're starting very simple problems. Okay, very simple problem. We'll start off, and we will keep working towards tougher problems. So idea is that in these sessions we'll cover 3-4 problems, and that's what I'm hoping. Okay, every session 3-4 problems or something, but that doesn't stop you from working on other problems. Okay, we'll be even happy to give some optional problem. Now here is the best part. As you keep working on this problem, we will continue to see the score. Every problem you solve, can you go to that web page also?
Oh, okay.
Click on that link. Open cat is that link. Yeah. So, yeah, if you can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's great. Little bit less.
Okay.
Yeah, keep adjusting. So this is the problem statistics and everything. Left side is the problem name, and if you look at it, it's sorted by the difficulty. So you are all of you can do the first problem. Click on the hello world. Okay, this one, and click on the hello world. Then see, when you finish this problem, you get 1 point. You can see Abigail's score is 21.6. So your job is to catch up with him, I think I have score as 76 or something. So far,
Great.
but I let's see who catches up with you first and who catches up with me first. So I wish that I have a lot more time to play around and keep increasing my score. Too bad that other job or responsibilities come in my way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, back to this problem. I'm digressing. So all you have to do is here, very simple. All you have to do is just output one line, hello world. So how do you do that? You click on that submit button. Yeah, go ahead, click on the submit button.
Yes, Professor, it's taking some time.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, like Catis is like after each.
Yeah, is it because all of them are like, yeah, there you go. Sometimes it takes time. Is your default by any chance C++ or Python? Do you know?
I tried it, but I could not find somewhere like set the default.
Okay, so that's okay. We'll go back there. So you can see now. So we have language. Make sure it's Python 3, and there are a couple of ways you can submit every problem. Okay, couple of ways. You can develop in your own editor, text editor or PyCharm IDE or Juniper, whatever it is, Idle, there are so many, right? You can use whichever one you want to develop, okay? Or if you want to really type in directly, you can click on the switch to editor right here. There you go. So those are the two ways, okay? So either you can upload the file, drag and drop and do it, or you can just type in directly. Okay, so I hope the steps are clear. And
So, and can anyone like everybody did everyone get the link on the chat?
so maybe you can post the link again. Maybe we should go back to that page. Now that we have shown the step, maybe you can go back to slides.
Okay.
So yeah, that and the next slide. There you go. Okay, so what I was hoping is that today we start off with Hello World, make sure everybody is able to finish the Hello World first. Then Abigail will kind of continue and help you to complete these problems.
Okay.
There's no pressure, okay? We can go slow today, no hurry, okay? We really want everybody to be with us, that way. It's the first day. We want to it's like a train, right? It's a slow start. It's okay. Slow start is better than nothing at all, right? So then we'll get to more and more tougher and tougher problem as we go forward. So Hello World, I don't think we need to explain anything. I hope. So
okay, and
try it, and let me see the online scores.
Okay, so
I
I'm
will
going to set up a
introduce Mr.
poll.
Abhigyan.
Sure, go ahead, please.
So today I'm very proud to introduce the student instructor that is for you. He's going to take sessions for further weeks. Maybe it may be changing. It may be changing in future. So for 2 weeks he'll be joining the session with us. And it is a great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Abhigyan Sinha, a master student in the field of computer science at University of Texas at Dallas. He is specialized here in the field of data science, and he is fluent with programming languages like Java, C#, and Python. Prior to this, he was working with Tata Consultancy Services as an ETL developer and web developer. He pursued his BTech in the field of computer science and engineering from Kalyani Government Engineering College in West Bengal. He has a great inclination towards competitive coding, and therefore his focus is on developing the right skills for developing and designing algorithms. So we are happy to have you here today.
Thank you so
And
much.
over to you,
for
Mr.
introducing
Abhigyan.
me. Thank you so much. Okay, so yeah. So Professor, yeah.
Abigail, do you want to put a poll, one more poll for completing?
Yes, for the Hello World. Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know whether you are trying to say something else.
Yeah, so yeah, I was going to set that. So in order to set the new poll, I have to stop this.
Yeah. Go ahead, stop the old poll. Yes.
Okay. So
all the attendees, please do not say yes without completing it. Okay, it defeats the purpose completely. Okay, only if you get this, you are done with that problem, success. Only then you should say yes.
Yes, sir, sure. Actually, today, if Abhigyan tells the students what things are mandatory, so that they will install everything in the laptop, and by Wednesday they will all be ready with
okay,
the
sure.
softwares, everything.
So
Yes.
So what I would like to tell everyone is like what I am using is I use PyCharm for developing the code in Python, and that's when I can debug and look out the output in the terminal, and then I go on and submit in Catis. And for installing Python, I would suggest Anaconda Navigator. So I'm going to share the link for both of them. So
Don't mistake, because since all the we have students from even civil engineering, mechatronics, all zonal, so that is why. But they all studied Python in the first semester, so they have some basic. But they need.
But they may not have installed in the laptop, right?
Yes, sir. For that
They
only.
may
So
not have it
I
in the
told them.
laptop. Okay.
Yes, sir. So if
Okay,
you share
so
the link where to download everything, to
so
download how to download everything, if you explain, they
you
will
can
catch
see
up.
you go to the
Abhigyan,
page.
you want to update the one slide,
Okay,
create, insert one more slide,
okay,
and
perfect.
go ahead and put that information. So today, all the attendees, if you don't have it, don't worry. You type in directly there. That's okay. You can type in the, so we are writing very small programs anyway. Okay, so you can type in there, or if you want to do some testing, maybe you can do some web-based IDE.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's another option for today. Do we need to install Python first and then Anaconda, or how does that work?
So Professor, it will basically install Python for you as well. So
Oh,
when
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so when we download it, it's going to be like one-stop solution.
Okay. One-stop solution.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. That's great.
So we have some comment from participants that like website is too slow, I can't download it. Maybe we need some active internet connection, right? Abhigyan? Whether we
Uh,
need the active internet connection for this. With mobile data, can we work on it? Mobile data. Most of the students are working with mobile data.
Oh,
Like they
okay.
connect the mobile data with the laptop.
Yeah, I mean it's a big download, right? Little bit
yeah,
big
it
download,
will
not
take some
huge.
time.
They can do later. They
Yeah,
don't need to do right away.
so what I could suggest is like what they can do is you can see there's this option to switch to file upload as well. So they can upload a file from here. So what they can do is write the program on a notepad, and there are plenty of uh, online Python editors. So
Can you post one editor, Abhigyan?
yes, Professor. So this is
What's the easiest one to use? I have used this REPL. Is that a good one?
yes, Professor. That's the one I am posting.
REPL one.
So this is very easy to use as well. You just write over here and you just run. So
That's a good one. Online.
so you will get the output over here.
So for today, you can just use that.
Yes,
So there you go. See, he's showing that. So
and it will also give us the prompt and everything. So it's more like a Visual Studio Code editor. So this can work for now. We just have to write the proper import statements, and then we can write the program.
but see, the Abhigyan, is it not this online IDs are almost as good as the regular ID is?
Yes,
I mean,
Professor.
this is
Yes, exactly.
extremely impressive. This one
Yes,
particularly.
this is what say there are packages also. Like if you can search for a package also if you feel like this one has not installed it. There's a debugger as well over here.
So this almost makes actually the download and install almost very optional.
Yes,
Is
yes,
it?
Professor.
I mean,
Yes,
this one is so everybody, you can use this today. This is perfectly fine. When you
exactly,
finish, you can just copy paste the code and you can submit.
exactly. You can go to the editor and just paste over here, and then click on submit.
So can everybody finish Hello World and take the poll? Finish it and then take the poll. Okay, don't
Okay.
answer the poll.
So,
So
so I can see 19% has said no and 80% have said yes.
80% have said they have done.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Finally, from my side, when I select Chennai Institute of Technology, it shows 98 users so far. Maybe that's a lag. Madam, can you check uh, the
Sir?
page and see whether you are getting the same thing? Let me see, post it. I'm posting one link. Yeah, click on that link and tell us how many users it says.
Sure, sir.
No, I doubt they have country-wide server. Okay, every country different server. I don't think so.
98 users, sir.
98, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So I don't know why the lag is. Because so many people said they. But anyway, at least the good thing is I do see a lot of people have completed. At least several people have completed. I can see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe today they would have attended through mobile, I think. So
Yeah,
from
that's the
Wednesday,
reason I
we
think.
will ask everyone to install whatever Abhigan said. So we'll make them to install it.
That's okay. I mean, today actually we are using more web-based IDE, so that's okay. I mean, today we're not depending on the install.
Yeah.
So the ID we posted, right? REPL.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you post that link again, once again, maybe for others?
Okay, Professor. So I will post it over.
Online IDE.
Yeah.
I already posted, but I don't know whether you already caught it or not. Any questions so far?
Yes, sir, we have.
Can you do again REPL?
Now connected to TNJ 1003.
Okay. So Abigail, you're famous. We have 402 people. Maybe you can stand in Tamil Nadu elections, maybe. West Bengal guys, after studying in US and stands in election in Chennai. Maybe you'll do something more good for the state. Anyway, that's a different topic. Let's stick to Can we use Visual Studio Code? I think any ID is fine. Really,
Yeah.
any ID, if you're comfortable with Python, any ID is fine. We are not required to use any one specific thing. In fact,
Exactly.
he has provided the two options, and third option, online Python editor. So yeah. I mean, Sharan, yes, there is a web-based IDE. The only thing is the web-based, the code editor. Only thing is I don't know how good it is with respect to saying error messages. That's the only reason we tend to use something else. I don't think it may say some syntax error or something, but it won't say where it is or something like that, I think. So you can try, of course. Let me test that as well. Yeah, you can certainly use that editor. The editor which is comes with the Catis. Click on the problem. I'm going to try something here. To editor.
Sir, students, those who joined late, can you explain once again, Mr. Abhigan? Just sir told about settings, no? That one.
Okay, sure.
So, so in that URL.
Okay. So let me present this. Okay, so everyone who have joined in right now, what you guys need to do is, like, after logging into your Catis account, yeah, here you can see this small logo, which will be your profile logo basically, and your name will be there along with your score and rank. So click on that logo and you will get this my profile and settings. So click on settings, select the country to India, subdivision to Tamil Nadu, and university as Chennai Institute of Technology, and keep the preferred time zone as Asia/Kolkata or this is this the preferred time zone, Professor?
Yeah. Well, we have only one time zone, right? India.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, that one.
Unlike US complications.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my God. I think Houston has a different time zone than Dallas.
US has 6 time zones or something,
Yeah.
including Hawaii.
So few students, they have chosen already Anna University, so they can prefer now Chennai instead of Techno. They can choose.
Yeah. Make the Chennai Institute of Technology proud. Who cares about Anna University?
Yes, sir.
Anna University means basically all the colleges, Tamil Nadu, everything together is Anna University. That's what
Oh,
it is. Yeah.
okay.
It doesn't mean a lot. So it doesn't distinguish the.
Doesn't distinguish the college.
Monish is saying that score is not updating.
So that might be the case.
Abhijit, can you tell after confirming the settings what the students have to do? That Hello program, Hello World program.
Okay.
Can you tell that?
Yep, sure. So yeah, one more thing. For today's session, you can use this online Python editor for writing the Python code and testing it. And
So the
once you-
third one, they don't require laptop, right, for this?
You need to download it.
they don't.
So today,
need.
for attending through mobile, they can go with this third one, online Python editor.
Yeah, but it's very hard to type in the mobile. Are they
Exactly.
trying to
Yeah.
use the
Yeah.
mobile to type?
I don't think it's
That's pretty hard. I mean, you can do mobile data and maybe do hotspot or something and try to use the computer.
exactly.
And it shouldn't take too much. It shouldn't really consume too much data. I guess we have the webinar going. Now our videos are off too, so hopefully
Yeah.
it shouldn't take too much thing. But you do need to work from a laptop, and it's extremely hard to work with a phone. Maybe you guys are very smart. You can handle it. At least Abigail and I feel that you cannot really program on the phone. Maybe you guys are smarter. You know how to type in the phone, and if you can do that, that's more power to you. 10 or 20 lines of code. So.
For today's Hello World, I'm saying the first program we need everyone to complete, right? For that.
Yeah, that will be a good goal. Yes. Yeah.
So now, so far, 111 users have tried,
Okay.
and the scores are. So you sent one link, no, sir? In that 111 users now have.
Oh, okay. Just says 111 now. That's good.
Yes.
So somebody was asking, why don't we use the editor in the Catis itself, right? Yes, you can use the editor in the Catis itself. You can click on that. Abigail, can you go to the?
Yes.
Yeah, this one, right? See, Abigail, can you go ahead, type in something wrong in the submit, print, maybe a double close, something. Yeah, no, just make a syntax error.
Okay.
One more close bracket or something like that, right? Do that and submit. See, he has a syntax error right there, right? So it will tell you compile error, but it won't tell you where it is. Oh, it is saying, I'm wrong. Right there at the bottom. There you go. See, you don't even need to go anywhere else. That means. Wonderful.
But the thing is the real-time debugging would.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, for now, this will work.
Yeah.
As you move on to more advanced problem, and let's say you want to test with your own input, then it's very hard. See here, it is testing with its own system. That's all. Okay.
Yes.
There was one person asking, change the profile name as my name to something. I don't know what he meant. Again, don't worry about all those issues. You can fix it even after the session or something like that. So don't worry about it. So we can figure out all that. I mean, it looks like there are a few glitches. Hopefully we'll learn about all that, and before the next session will be clear. Okay.
So
Sai Dinesh, change the preferred language settings to Python or C++. So two questions.
So it should be set to Python. Yeah.
We are going to do Python here. I mean, you can keep something else as the C++, or something. The problem is that whenever you go to submit that screen, you will always come up with the default one. You have to keep changing to Python. So So it really depends on what you're going to do, really, right? What you're, yeah. So here for
And
this session, it really makes sense to keep it as Python. So
and 2 or 3 participants are telling like score is not getting updated though they submit.
yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know. So we can investigate for further. Did it really is pass though? Go
Yeah,
ahead,
like,
Abigail. Go ahead and show the pass thing. Go ahead and finish the program. Hello world. Yeah, go through the steps. So
so
switch
come
to
over to
it.
language,
Yeah,
set the
see here.
language.
Yeah, so do you still have the C++ as the default? Is that what it is? I don't know why you are asking. It's coming back and asking. Anyway, go ahead. Switch to editor.
Okay.
To switch to editor. So here is where we type in the code. Then
And the compiler will match it with the output which it is expecting.
okay.
And when we click on submit, you can see it's saying status as new. Once it says accepted, that means the program has been accepted. Then you can see a change in the score. So as I've done this before, that's why my score is not changing. But for you, whatever the score has been assigned to this problem, it will be updated in the score option here.
So Sivakumar, what error is it showing? You said your error.
Maybe, yes, sir. Maybe you have not chosen the Python 3 as a language.
Oh yeah. So that too.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you select Python 3 as the language, right? So
Yes, sir. So Shivakumar, try choosing the in settings. You choose Python 3 as the default language.
Um, like I cannot see these questions. Like, are they posting it in the chat or like?
yeah, there's in the chat. You click on the chat. I guess you may be in the poll or something. Maybe is it?
No, I'm in the chat. I can see the last.
Chat. So this one in chat is a little bit interesting. It's appearing in the top.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So that's something I figured out late. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Kamaleshwar, he wants Anaconda Navigator GUI or something. Maybe towards the end you can show that.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll work through the problems and program R2 is giving a Dilip, and I am really excited that you're going forward. We are going there. Don't worry. Keep trying.
So far,
Abigail is
128
there.
users, sir. 128 users have tried.
Okay, let me. I wanted to give me 1 second. Then I will. So far, let's see.
So, and Janani now has posted like after making it in Python 3 language also, it is accepted, but score is not updated.
Yeah, so we hear that quite a bit. Now we have to worry about that separately, So let's worry about it a little bit later. As long as it says accepted, then we'll see. Is it maybe it's just an update? Maybe we don't know. We don't know. We will see later why that is. Okay. So now I'm seeing the institute scores and Mari Rashwant.
So Yogesh is saying after reloading, it is updating. So
reloading. Okay, yeah.
Try refreshing your browser and see if it's worked.
Okay. So should we move on to second problem now?
Yes, sir.
Madam?
Yes, sir, but you have not worked out. They are asking again now. They are asking like, can you explain this once again?
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
one you can do right from the start. One more review again, just
Okay,
for
sure.
the people who had problem.
First class.
Then you can
Yes,
do.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to sign off, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you, madam. Everybody have a good time. I think looks like you are interacting well. That's great, and enjoy the experience. Okay.
Sure, sir.
I have to go prepare a slides, and tomorrow early morning I have a presentation. Bye bye.
Okay.
Thank you all. Bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So ma'am, so do I need to explain these as well?
Yes, since it is the first class, can you just tell online Python editor, okay?
Okay.
After going to the Catus account, how they have to
Okay,
go with
sure.
that.
Okay.
Just explain that once.
Okay. So everybody has registered on Catus, so they have got their user ID.
Yes.
Yeah.
few have not registered yet. Even if you explain how that URL I copied and sent to you right yesterday,
Yeah, yeah.
so that also can be explained now, if possible. So log in with Google. So how they can choose the accounts or like that.
Okay, so it's like clicking
So
on
new
this.
registration.
So when
Yes.
you click on this, so basically I am registered here. So basically you will get this page over here for registration, and you can enter your email, you can enter your password, you can enter any email which you have. Like most of us have a Gmail ID, and you can set your own password and then register, or you can use any of the following accounts to directly link your Catis account with your existing account. So this one over here, the over the right side, will create an account on Catis, uh, which will be stored in Catis server. But this will associate the account with your existing Google or Facebook or Microsoft or LinkedIn or any other account. Okay. Now, once you have registered and once you can log in, this right hand side. So if I go to my uh, if I go over here, you can see.
Yeah, you can show your account.
Yes.
So how that URL is copied? So that can you show it? So
Oh,
after going into your account, the URL reflecting your user ID. So
okay.
that can you show? Yes.
Yes.
So once you register in students, you will get this page, right?
Yeah.
So sir will tell you what URL you have to copy and update in the Google form. So few
Okay.
of you through your class advisors will be intimated today about that you have given the wrong user ID of Catus account. So that you can now see how sir is explaining.
Yeah.
You can go ahead.
So for you guys, the country will be India. Okay. We'll select over here India. Subdivision you will select as Tamil Nadu, and university when you come over here. Um, okay. Now it's
Institute of Technology.
yeah. No, actually, it was not giving me a drop down option. Some
Okay.
kind of issue with the browser. Oh, no, it's this is fine, but this is not letting me select.
Okay, they have to choose Chennai Institute of Technology,
Yeah, now it's
right?
coming up.
It's coming now. Okay.
So yeah, this is the one which you guys need to select. So once this is done, you need to okay, and you can select the default programming language from here. Set it to Python 3. Preferred time zone. Set it to Asia, Asia Kolkata, and you can like leave the authentication because you don't need to change your password. And if required, you can also set your profile picture from here. So is this clear, everyone?
Yes, actually
Okay.
the URL where your score will be reflected. So can you click on that URL?
Okay. Okay.
You are in now in settings, right? So
Yes.
can you go to that basic user ID where your
Oh,
user ID alone?
okay. Here.
So open catus.com/user/Abhigyan hyphen Sinha, right?
Yes. So
Yes.
this is one. So do I need to?
So yes, tell.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, no. You can tell me.
Yes. So students, can you see now? You will be having this URL like this. That is open.catus.com/users/ your name will be reflected. Okay, and don't go ahead with the settings and you should not copy such link. Okay. So if you click that link or if you copy that URL in the Chrome or Mozilla, so you will be having you'll be seeing with your name and the score updated and the ranking will be like this. Okay. So now we are seeing Mr. Abhigyan Sinha's rank and score, right? So like that, your rank, your name, your score will be displayed. So we need such URL to be entered in the Google form, which is circulated to you through your class advisor. So those who have wrongly entered, so those students alone just give the proper user ID generated in the Catis account. Okay. So that's it from my end, Mr. Abhigan. You can go ahead.
Okay. Okay, sure. So, okay. So Naveen, yeah, you're saying settings shows an error. Like, what error are you getting? And Akshita, yeah, you can start doing the Hello World program. So what you need to do is go to problems, click on difficulty. So this will sort it in the ascending order of difficulty. The first problem which you get is Hello World. So those who are not seeing this Hello World as their first problem, you need to click on difficulty. So when I click on difficulty, so you can see uh, this is like the difficulty level is 9.5 means it is on a higher level. You click on difficulty again and you get to 1.1, which is the lowest level. So the difficulty, it will sort it according to the difficulty, and you can then see hello world as the first question on your screen. Okay. So I'm going to end this poll for the hello world question, and now I'm going to move forward with the next question. So the second question is R2, and we're going to see what's that. So for searching a question, you can write here and you can press enter. You can see whichever question has R2 in its name, it will reflect it. So this is the one which we are looking for. So this is the question. The question is the number S is called the mean of two numbers R1 and R2. If S is equal to R1 plus R2 by 2, that is R1 plus R2 whole by 2, then Miko's birthday present for Slavko was two integers R1 and R2. Slavko promptly calculated their mean, which also happened to be an integer, but then lost R2. Help Slavko restore R2. So the input format will be a line of containing two integers R1 and S, and the range which these integers will belong to is minus 1000 to 1000, and what you have to display as the output is the value of R2. So the number S is the mean of two numbers, that is R1 plus R2. When you add R1 plus R2 and divide the sum by 2, you get the number S. And the input which is given to you is the value of R1 and S. So based on that value and the equation which is described in the problem, you need to calculate the value for R2. Okay. So I'm going to set a poll for this question as well. And so once you're done, only then respond to the poll, and once I get majority of the poll as like the people who have solved it, then I can go and show it.
So they can use that online Python editor, right? So solve it and submit it here.
Yeah, so what they can do is they can go over here and write the code over here, and then look at the output in this window over here. This is the terminal for them. This part over here, this thing, this is the terminal, and this is the
Okay.
editor. This white part over here, this is the editor. And here they have different ways to debug the code. So they can use this debugger. So whatever they write, they need to like say.
So we'll give some 2 minutes time. So otherwise, can you solve it since they may be like first sem they studied Python, so
Okay.
maybe it may be a refresher kind.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
So this R2 problem, I've already solved it. So I'm going to write the logic over
Okay.
here.
Okay. Sure.
So
Sure.
so using the hash for comment.
I
So
think it is
here's
better you create a new account, right? So that the students you can show them how to submit everything.
okay.
Not now, but for next
Okay.
class. I'm saying.
Oh yeah, sure. So okay, so I will do that, but in the next class
Sure. Sure.
they will be installing
Sure. Sure.
PyCharm, I think, right?
Okay, okay. Then they will work in that, right?
Yeah.
So you have given the URL already. I will circulate to students and ask them to
Yes. So
download.
I did upload it on slide number 7. This
Yes.
is this is
Sure.
the requirement. So okay.
And Deepak Arjun has asked, I'm using phone, it is difficult to solve. So I
Okay.
think
So
laptop will be the better option.
yes, laptop will
So,
be a better option
yes.
because I don't prefer writing code using phone because like it's not user friendly in that format. So
So students, you are going to get training in solving Python, like problem solving in Python. Along with the instructor, you are going to work out. So from Wednesday, from that, you just go with laptop. Don't use mobile. And sir has given the links to install. So I will just share through your counselors, to your class advisors, so that you can install in your laptop and get ready with everything. Okay. So from next class, we won't use the online Python editor. So we'll be using uh,
we would be using PyCharm.
PyCharm. Yes.
Yeah, PyCharm would be the editor, and Anaconda will install all the required uh, Python packages and all.
So
And
I will share the link.
yeah, one thing I wanted to tell you guys before this. So you can see this help option over here. Go to help. Um, go to Python 3. So this is the general information. Okay, you start out by finding a suitable problem to solve, then you write code to solve the problem. After this, you submit the code to us for review. We will then compile your code and run it on some secret input. So the secret input are the test cases, which won't be visible to you. You will have some demo test cases which are there when with the problem description itself. But apart from that, it has also some other test cases which won't be visible to you. So you might not know which test case is leading your program to fail. So you have to, so that is a good thing because then you have to think about the edge cases and write your code accordingly. Now after some careful deliberation, you will get a judgment informing you whether your code behaved as expected or not. So the compiler will run your code and it will test against the expected output and say uh, is it accepted or not. Now the input and output format for this editor will be: your program should read its input from standard input and produce output on standard output. This can, for instance, be done using sys.stdin or sys.stdout. So that means whenever you're taking an input from the user, so most of these programs which we will be solving will be input taken from users. So you have to use sys.stdin for taking an input from the user and use the appropriate data structures to store these inputs. You can use sys.stdout to print the value, or you can also use just the print function. Both of them works. So I prefer using the print function. And if you want to raise an error, you need to use this sys.stder. You won't need it now. I don't think you will need this now. So these are the compiler settings. This is the version which this Catis is using currently in effect from April 22, 2020. And this is the hardware they're using for running your code. So you can see it's this is a CPU with 8 GB RAM and a 60.
Mr. Abhigya, we have few queries from the students.
Okay.
Uh, the two Yokesh, can you say that Yokesh question?
The
The
two
two
integers are
integers.
random, or is it? So Yogesh, the integers are user input. So if I go back to this problem over here, you can see this is a sample input, right?
And,
So
and
so
Chakradhar has asked that can you speak loudly? So we are
Okay.
playing from
Okay. So, can you hear me?
yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, Yogesh, um, this is yeah, this is how the users are going to input two integers, and you have to extract these two integers, and then output the sample, like output the result using a print or a stdout function. So, Chakradhar, you're asking how to give an statement in if how, like, do you mean like how to read an input?
Mr. Abhijit?
Yes.
So Chakradhar hasn't responded, and we have some other questions. Kritika has asked how to set the range.
Okay. So the range is already there in the constant, right? Like for this problem, I don't think you need to use the, like, this is the range. So one other thing, you can expect the input to be in this range. It won't be an invalid input. So you don't have to check whether the number is less than -1000 or greater than 1000. So because these are on the easier level, these problems, so they don't want us to check for the validity of the input, but as we increase the difficulty, we will have to check that as well.
This problem ID is you alone will be knowing it, or student side also it will be displayed problems.
uh, I didn't get you, like the,
Problem ID
oh,
R2 at world, that is I'm asking. So
yeah,
those
so,
problem IDs will be seen on the student side also.
yeah, they will be constant across everyone's system.
Okay, okay. And Naveen has asked, can you explain another time R2 problem? And Krishna Prashant wants the answer for R2.
Okay. um,
And Kodavati Shumant has asked how to go to that question, R2 question. How to
okay,
see that R2 question.
so everyone, you can you can see this R2 search categories. Okay, right here R2. Okay, in the search bar, press enter. It will take you to all those questions which are matching with the input you have provided. Now, in among this, you can see this is the R2 problem. This is the ID of the problem, and this is the name of the problem which is appearing. So click on the
Mr.
ID.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Uh, yes, I can hear your voice, but your screen went off. Now it. Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
you can see. Now I
Yeah.
can see your screen.
Okay. So you can click on R2, and it's going to redirect you to the problem area. And then for writing the code and submitting it, you can go to the submit button. Here, click on submit button. So I should have said this too.
Yes, you have to
So,
choose
so
Python language. Yes.
so one thing, I'm going to change that from here. You can go over here, settings. I will go over here. I will select Python 3. So in that way, I don't have to change it every time. I'm going to say update.
Okay. So once you have done the changes in the settings itself, then
Yeah,
it will be reflected here.
exactly. So now I'm going to search R2 over here.
So your problem R2, you have to search like this.
Yes.
Okay, near the submit button, you have search categories. So there you
Yeah,
have to type R2 and
exactly.
you
Yeah.
get.
Here you have to write the problem name, and then when you go to submit, so now you can see the language already set to Python 3. You can switch to editor, and I can write the program.
So this program, sir is asking you to try in the online Python editor.
Yeah.
So the URL is sent to you already in the chat box. Again, also I will send.
So to understand this problem, basically you have been given, right, that S, they have told you S is equal to R1 plus R2 by 2, right? And from this you can say R2 is going to be equal to
Can
2
you
times,
zoom your browser if you don't
okay,
mind?
yeah, sure.
Uh,
That's fine.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
2 times S minus R1. That is going to be the formula for calculating the value of R2, right? So now the easiest way to read an input would be, let's say I'm going to use a for loop for I in this dot std I stdin. That is the standard input, and I need to for using this standard input function, I need to import the sys package as a system package, inside which I will have this function. Give a colon. So you can see as soon as you give the colon, it will give the proper indentation for you. Now I'm going to say I just declared a variable dt, and I'm going to say I dot split. Split on what? Split on spaces. Why do I want to split on spaces? Because the format of input is, let's say it's kind of 11 space 14. So here is a space, and I want to split the input so that I get the numbers and I do not capture the spaces. That's why I made a split on the space. Now let's say this is the variable r1. So once you do that, so this dt is now basically a list. So everyone has studied about list in Pythons. So list is nothing but a data structure which contains multiple elements, and it's basically variable length, because you can add or delete from it anytime according to your need. So whenever I'm writing dt equals to I dot split, whatever the input is in I. So whenever you type in a line that is a user is giving an input in this way, this whole thing is in I. And when I say I dot split, this is going to split this line into two numbers, or to say two strings, basically, because Python always takes input in string format. So
Lavanya? Yeah.
are you saying something? Okay. So
I don't know. Say, go
okay,
ahead.
okay. So 11 and 14 are the two integers which I want. So now as dt is a list, and dt has stored 11 and 14 by splitting these spaces. So now I need to capture the value of, uh, let's say, r1 and s. So just a moment, let me see what's the input format. So if I go over here, this is r2. Yeah, so the first and only line of contains, okay, so the first integer is going to be r1 and the second is going to be s. So coming back to the problem, so the first one is r1. So as dt is a list, I'm going to say dt 0. What does that mean? That means the element at the index 0 will be fetched and stored into this variable r1. So basically I need to declare r1 as well before, because I want to use it outside of this loop as well. So I'm going to say r1 equal to 0 before this, and let's say s equals 0, and I'm going to say s equals dt1. So basically I have a list. So how dt looks like, dt is looking like this, 11 comma 14, and on the 0th index I have 11, and on the first index I have 14. So when I do dt index 0, it's going to fetch 11, and when I say dt index 1, it's going to fetch me 14. And these values are now being stored in r1 and s, but there's a slight problem with them. What's the problem? This r1 is of type integer, because I want to perform this these operations on r1 and s, but this has been read in as a string. So I need to do a typecast. So I will simply say shift, int, and I'll do the same thing to this one as well. So now these two numbers, like these two variables, r1 and s, are now holding an integer value. So once I have read them, I do not need to read anything from the input. So I will say just break. This is going to break from this for loop. And next, I'm going to calculate R2 based on this formula, right? So I'm going to say R2 equals s times 2 minus R1. And I'm going to say print R2. So what's going to happen is, let's say your R1 is 11 and S is 14. So this means R2 will be 2 times 14 minus 11, which is equal to 28 minus 11 is equal to 17. So now I'm going to submit this. So for submitting, I'm going to click over here and say submit. As soon as I click on submit, there's going to be the status, and this is going to show me as new. So now you can see these are the test cases, and once all the test cases have passed, it's going to show you the status, whether it's accepted or not, and this is going to be the time, that the CPU time which has taken for your program to run. Okay.
I think few network issue on speaker side. So he
Okay.
will connect shortly.
Okay.
Oh, you're in line. So we
Yeah.
cannot see your screen, Abhigan.
But
Can you
I'm
rejoin? No, we cannot see your screen. Whether participants can see the screen, can you put your comments on the chat?
okay.
I cannot see your screen. But students, please respond in the chat whether you can see the screen. Yes, now we can see.
Okay.
Yes. Now we can see. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to wait here for 2 minutes so that you guys can finish.
Ganapati has asked her, how can we get the standard input? Can we just use the input function?
Yeah, so Ganpati, you can try using the input function. That should work as well, because if the print is working in case of std out, the input function will also work. I'm hoping that will work. So you can try using that, and if you get an error, then let me know. Okay. Amsavartan.
Yes, we have some few questions.
Yeah.
And Ganapati has also given some function code line. I don't know why he has posted here. Hamsavardhan also has
Yes.
given a code suggestion.
Yeah, Amsavartan. You can try using that as well. It should basically be the same thing. So right now the poll says 54% are done with this question, 45% with. So anyone who is having problem solving this problem, like, can you guys tell me, is there the issue with something syntactical issue, or is there any error with the logic, or whatever you feel is the problem? Just post it on the chat. Ma'am, I'm going to be back in just a minute. Okay.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
So still you are asking for the problem, how to go to that problem. So I can tell you, you can see on the screen now submit button, right? So left to that submit button, you have search catus. So in that you have to give the name R2. So type R2 and search. So you will get that problem, and you can click on that and you can read the problem in detail. And there you will have an option on the right hand side to submit your answer. Okay. So that answer you can try today in online Python editor, the URL which we have shared already in the chat box. So go to that online editor, try the program, and then paste the program in the uh, after going into that problem ID, you can submit your answer there. Okay. Yes, Chakradhar, you have asked that the sir, whatever sir explained is new concept to you. So you have studied only general basic coding in Python, right? So we'll tell that to sir and we'll clarify that with him.
Okay.
Yes,
Um,
Aditya, sir. Yes. So they want the code again,
okay. Okay.
code window to be seen again. And Chakradhar has asked, like, they know only basic general coding in Python. Like you have used some new concepts.
Okay.
So
Sure. Sure.
you have used some new concepts which are new to them. So can you just
Okay.
explain
Sure.
that?
Sure. Sure. So this edit
And
animation.
Jagadish had posted like answer is correct, but all the test cases are not passed.
Okay. So there might be some kind of typecasting error, maybe. Okay. So let's go through this step by step. What is the problem asking us? The problem is telling us like there are two numbers R1 and R2, and S is the average of R1 and R2. Now we have been given the value of R1 and S, that is we have been given R1, one of the numbers, and the average of R1 and R2, that is S. Now given R1 and S, we have to compute the value of R2. So first of all, I wrote down the formula for average, calculating the average of two numbers, that is S equals R1 plus R2 by 2. And then I'm going to say R2 equals 2 times S minus R1. That is, from this equation above, you can see in order to calculate R2 from here, I need to multiply this 2 over both the sides. So that makes this 2 times S. And when I subtract R1 from both the sides, that leaves me R2 over here. So I get 2 times S minus R1. So R2 equals 2 times S minus R1. Next, I'm taking an example. Let's say the value of R1 is 11 because the input format is first R1, then S. That is first one of the numbers is being input, and on with a space, we have the average. So let's say this 11 and 14. So the value of R2 is equal to 2 times 14 minus 11, that is 28, minus 11 equal to 17. Now this is how we are going to calculate the value of R2. But there are some things, so some pre-processing which we need to do in order to calculate R2. So for that, first we need to read in the input. After reading in the input, we need to extract the value of R1 and S while we have done that. Okay. So you need to import this sys package. Why do we need to import it? Because we need to use sys.stdin, that is a function for reading in input from the console or from the terminal, you can say. Oh, so once you have used import sys, you can use the sys.stdin function. Now, what I've done is I've declared the two variables, that is R1 and S, and I have initialized them to 0 over here. Okay. Next, I'm saying for I in sys.stdin. So what this I is holding is basically I holds a line of input, whatever the user is inputting. That means when I write the input as 11 space 14, I is holding the string. That is, I is holding whatever here is, this is stored in I in string format. Okay. So what are the challenges we have right now? Is we have the input, but it is in string format and it is not segregated. That means it is not in the form of, like, we do not have R1 and S separately. So what we need to do is, what I've done here is I have applied this split function. So there is a split function which can be applied to string, and I am applying the split function over this character, or this character is basically the representation of space. So wherever the space will be present in the input, the program is going to split it. Now what will happen after splitting it? When I split this, I will have 11 and 14 separately. So that means this dt is storing 11 and 14. Now which data structure in Python can store, let's say, different integers, different strings, or even different data of different data types. So the first thing which comes to our mind is a list, right? So DT is now a list data structure which holds 11 and 14 in this format. So now I'm going to say R1 equals, first forget this int. Let's say we have not written this int over here. I'm going to write R1 equals DT0. Why? Because if you see over here, indexing in Python starts from 0, right? So in as DT is a list, the element on the 0th index, element at the 0th index is 11, and at first index is 14. So one thing I know about the problem is I am always going to get two integers as input. So therefore I know I just need to the 0th element in the list and first element in the list. So I'm to say R1 equals DT0. What is that going to fetch me? That's going to fetch me 11. But 11 is in which data type right now? That's in string, because in Python the input is accepted as string. So that's why I need a typecast over here, and I need to typecast it to integer. That's why I will add an int before this dt indexing 0. Similarly, I'm going to access the value for s, because in the input it has been told that the first integer is going to be the value of r1 and followed by the value of s. So now the value in s is 14, and when I add this typecast int here, it becomes an integer. So now r1 and s are holding the values 11 and 14. I'm going to say break. Why do I say break? Because I know I just have one line of input to read in, and post that I do not need to read anything. So once I have read that, I'm going to say break. So this is going to come out of this for loop. So this part is after the for loop, and this is inside the for loop. Now once I've got the values of r1 and s, I'm going to say r2 equal to s into 2, that is 2 times s minus r1. And where did I get this? From this formula, which we derived at the first step through the problem statement given to us. And I'm just going to print r2. So are you guys clear with this? Vasant, what you can do is, like, if it's getting accepted, try refreshing the browser and see if it works for you. Logeshwaran, can you hear me? Like, is the audio distorting for everyone, guys?
No, it is clear. Only location has commented like that. So just try reconnecting Lokeshwaran from your end.
I think Abhinav and Krishna Prashant have also said that. So Abhinav and Krishna, so are you guys able to hear me right now?
No. So, but I can hear your voice.
Yeah, I think might be some problem.
Lokeshwaran alone is telling. So it's your voice is clear. So any other participants? Little bit louder. That is what Krishna Prasad has posted now. Yes, sir, but we need little bit louder.
Okay. So is this level clear and loud for everyone? Somika, I don't know, like, for me it's clear, like I can hear ma'am's voice properly and she can hear my voice, but I don't know, like, for the rest of you, is it getting distorted, or maybe some kind of network problem, I think.
Yes. So better students, you use headset if you have, so that from next class, whatever sir tells, so can be followed directly. Laptop, is a must with all the installed thing. Okay, so I will just forward the links, whatever you sir has suggested, so that I will forward to you through your class advisors also.
Okay, so everyone, can we move forward to the next problem? Like, is this problem clear to you guys? So let me see the polls. So I can say 59% have said yes and 40% have said no. So I'm hoping the 40% who have said no, you guys are clear with it now. Okay, so let's move on to the next problem. So the next problem is quadrant selection. So I'm going to search for quadrant selection over here. So let's read out the problem once. A common problem in mathematics is to determine which quadrant a given point lies in. There are 4 quadrants numbered from 1 to 4 as shown in the diagram below. This is quadrant 1. So whenever you have x and y as positive, it lies in the first quadrant. When you have x negative and y positive, it lies in the second quadrant, that is B. If you have both x and y negative, that lies in the third quadrant, that is C. And if you have x as positive and y as negative, then that point lies in fourth quadrant, that is D. So this is high school mathematics, which every one of us are familiar with. So what's the problem which has been given to us? For example, your job is to take a point and determine the quadrant it is in. You can assume that neither of the two coordinates will be 0. That is, you won't have a case where the input is 0, 0 lying at the origin. So you will have any point given to you will have a specific quadrant for it, and you have to decide which quadrant does that point belong to. Now let's see what's the format of input which will be given to us. This is the input format. The first line of input contains the integer x. So the first line will contain the integer x. What is the range of x? X will lie between -1000 to 1000, and x will not be equal to 0. That means the value of x will be any valid integer in this range, and it won't be equal to 0. The second line of input contains the integer y. That will lie between this range, that is y will lie between -1000 to +1000, and y will not be equal to 0. And what does the editor or the compiler expect the output format to be? The output should be the quadrant number 1, 2, 3, or 4 for the point x, y. Now let's look at a sample input. Let's say we have x value as 10 and y value as 6. So 10 is positive, that is x is positive and y is positive. So as both of them are positive, we are going to output 1. Sample input 2, x is positive, that is 9 is positive, and -13 is negative. So x is positive and y is negative. The output is going to be fourth quadrant. So this will be the sample in this will be the format in which we will be giving the output. So is the question clear to everyone? So Kodavati, can you say what's the runtime error you are getting for R2? Tarun, you in the search bar, you can go in the search bar, and over here you can just write in hello world, and it will give you the exact problem.
So Miss Kodavati Sumant and Prakash Ravenkar, both you told like R2 runtime error. Can you tell what runtime error you are getting? Tarun is asking for the problem ID of Hello World.
Okay, so Tarun, what you need to do is you need to go over here and write in hello world and press enter. You can
So
see
we have covered
you will get the problem.
yes, 3 problems. First one is Hello World.
Second one is R2. So for similarly type in R2, you will see this is the problem which we have covered.
Yes. And
And the third one
third one is
which we are solving right now. So just type in quadrant over here, or you can say quadrant selection, and
okay. So Kodavati has replied that it is not specified. Runtime error.
um,
Or you do one thing, Mr. Abhigan, can you share the code for these 3 so
yeah,
that
sure.
those are not, because I just checked this, whatever sir sent, no, in Chennai Institute ID.
Yeah.
So only 180 users have tried. So let me,
Okay.
maybe a few issues without laptop like that. So maybe I
So what
will
I'm going to
check.
do is I'm going to
Yes.
update in the slide itself.
Sure. Okay. So
Okay.
you
So I'm
update
going
and send me so that I'm circulating now the feedback form. So I am getting all the mail IDs from the students. So I can just forward whatever programs we tried today. So
okay.
the code I can send to them, and also the PPT what you have taken today.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
So that when they are coming on Wednesday, they'll be ready. They would have finished these 3 programs. So students, on behalf of you, I'm assuring to sir, so that you'll be finishing these 3 programs and you'll be installing the that is PyCharm, and the Anaconda. The sir will be giving the link in the PPT. So the URL will be given in the PPT. So just install it in your laptop or desktop. And Wednesday, you'll be having the next session. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, tentatively as of now. So by Wednesday, the same 10 to 11:30 full session you have to attend. So now I can see the participant count has been reduced. So it should not be the case, because you will go and then come again, log in after some time, you won't have the continuity. So make sure that you are attending the session continuously 10 to 11:30. Please keep aside all your works and attend and work out, because all the scores of you are reflected. So we'll be checking all the scores from your Catus account. So kindly finish these 3 programs. Okay. So is there any assignments, Abhigyan? Are you planning for giving any assignments?
what they can do is the last question which we were discussing there. That's this question,
Okay.
quadrant selection. They can
Quadrant cell.
finish. Yeah, they can do it by themselves, and then that's the first thing we are going to discuss on Wednesday.
Okay, sure. So the first 2 questions you already discussed about the code.
Yeah.
So that they try on their part, and those who have not got the output now, they will try and update the Catus ID.
Okay.
And the third program is given as an assignment. Those who have not completed, so they have to complete it when you are coming on Wednesday. So Chakradhar has asked quadrant problem test cases not passing.
Okay, so Chakradhar, try thinking about like why is it passing? Think more.
Is
Think.
there
Give
anything
it some
where
time.
we get some help in that? Whether we cannot see what test cases has been passed or what
No.
not passed?
Yeah. So that is not like given to us. Like we
Oh,
cannot see the test cases. So that's I think it's good in some way because it makes the students think what could be the possibilities.
yes, yes.
So
The errors will not be shown, right? So we have to think,
so
if it is not passed, then it is
yeah.
something in the
So
code.
you will so if it's a runtime error, it will just say it's a runtime error. But if it's a compile time error, then we will be able to see where the error is occurring. But runtime error is basically some kind of exception, so that won't be visible here. So that's why I was suggesting like they can use this online editor. There's a debugger option here, or they can use PyCharm. So PyCharm is very good for that, and PyCharm. You have the option for debugging, and while debugging you can see the flow of values, how the values are changing for every variable, and that I feel is very helpful while developing and writing algorithms.
Okay. So in Catus account, when we try the program, we cannot see the errors, right? So we cannot
So
debug on
yeah,
the
yeah.
errors.
So if it's a compile time error, it's going to point us to the line where the compiler has thrown the error. So that way
Oh,
we know which line has the error. But if it's a runtime error, we will just get a runtime error message, but we won't actually get the message saying what's the runtime error actually because of.
okay.
Yeah.
So that's why we are using the
Yeah, that's
editor.
right. Exactly.
Okay.
So that's so that they can experiment and
So
write the code.
students also have practice in working on the editor, Python editor, and then come back to the Catus account and paste your program. Okay, so that will be the better option.
And let me. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the. Okay, no. Let me keep this comments as well. Okay, so I will format this slide and I will share the code. So what I can do
Sure,
is
sure.
one more thing is I'm going to share this code over chat as well, so that it's available to them right now.
Okay. So and students, please give your feedback and attendance link and feedbacks. Please post your comments, whatever you felt about today's class, so that I can share that to the instructor and he can also work on it and come back on Wednesday with your inputs. So do fill your
So
feedback and ask all your friends. It is not like normal webinar lecture. You this is particularly coding. So it is a training on coding part. So you have to attend the full session, 10 to 11:30. You have to attend the complete session.
so
So that
Ajay,
then only you will have the
okay,
content.
just a moment, ma'am.
Yes,
So
yes.
Ajay, on the online editor, are you using the input function or the stdin function? If you're using the input function, I would suggest to use the stdin function on Catus, because till now I have worked with stdin function on Catus and I have not got an error. If it's something else, then we will be looking into it on Wednesday. Whatever the possibilities could be, that could be either for a data type error or some kind of runtime error, and or some kind of basically the most of the errors which we commit is while reading in the input. So that's the part which we need to take care of. Okay, yes. Okay, ma'am, you were telling.
No, if possible, if you don't mind, you can share your mail ID also, so that the students, if you don't mind,
Yeah, sure, sure. So my
they
mail
can
ID.
also feel free to ask any doubts.
Okay, sure.
So if you have time, you can respond to them.
Yeah, sure. So this is my Gmail ID. Anyone, if you guys have any problem, you
And
can
you can
contact.
include that in PPT also, so
Okay,
that I can.
sure, sure. So
So
yeah, so I will.
students, sir
Yeah.
is sharing the mail ID. So kindly feel free, and sensible questions can be asked to sir, and he'll be responding at his convenient time. So make sure you ask him sensible questions related to the topics. Okay. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Abhinay. I'm disturbing you, right?
No, no,
Since
no.
it is a
It's fine.
first class, I'm a mediator from the student side.
Yeah, no, no, it's fine.
So
It's fine. Yeah, completely fine. Okay. Yeah. So yes, so ma'am. So I think that's all for today, right? So uh,
yes.
so we are.
So
Yeah. Okay.
we'll just summarize. So we
Okay.
have seen
So
given first thing is Catus account registration, right? So you tell about that.
okay.
So
So I will go over the slides once again.
yes. So we'll just summarize a quick pressure of today's contents.
So this is the link at the rate open.catus.com/login. What I would suggest you guys is, if you're using a phone or your laptop, just take a screenshot. That way you don't have to note it. You can just save it in the pictures, and you can refer to it later. Next is uh, okay. Next is, once you have done that, uh, you need to click on this thing over here. That is the profile logo, or the circular button. Once you click over here, you're going to see my profile and settings. You're going to click on settings, go to settings, set your country to India, subdivision to Tamil Nadu, university to Chennai Institute of Technology, preferred time zone as Asia/Kolkata, and set the default programming language as Python 3. Once you have done that, then ma'am, they have to send you something, or you were saying?
No, sir, no.
Oh, okay, okay. So once you have done that, you can see your profile in this way, where it will be showing your country, subdivision, and your college. Next is these are the requirements. Sorry, you need to download the PyCharm Community Edition. That's the editor I prefer to use. If you feel like using any other editor like Jupyter Notebook or Spider, you can go ahead with that. I don't have any problem. It's just for your own comfort and use for your own usage. And I prefer installing this Anaconda Navigator because in that way it installs Python and other uh, data science tools for you, and you don't have to set the path of Python in your computer. That is what we have to do. So those who have experience with working with Java, when you install Java, you need to set the path so that the editor interpreting the Java code can find the actual packages in your system. So that all thing is taken care by Anaconda Navigator. You just need to install this thing, and whenever you open the PyCharm, uh, you have to set the environment to this Anaconda Navigator. So there will be an environment for Anaconda which you have to set on your PyCharm so that the editor can use all the packages which have been installed by this Anaconda Navigator. If you don't want to go through all of this, if you want to use an online Python editor, then this is the link. You can use this as well. As I showed, it has an option for debugging, and the best thing is like you don't have to your laptop doesn't have to be powerful enough to run this online Python editor because it's running on some other server, and the computation will be carried on some other server. And whenever you log into Catis, so like here, if I go to problems, so if I go to difficulty, you can see I have been shown difficulty of 6.6. That means it's on a higher side. If I click on difficulty, it's going to sort it in an ascending order, and the green means you have solved, red means you have tried but it has not been solved, and the white means it is untried, yet to be attempted. Okay, and if you want to get other information about using different languages on this editor, so we are using Python 3. You can go over help and click on Python 3. These are the general information. This is the input output. So as you can see, Catis is more comfortable with using a sys.stdin for input. And these are the compiler and system libraries which are there in Catis for you guys to use. And there are some tutorials, the problem, reading the input, computing the answer. So you can see these code snippets and you can try them out regarding the different questions. And obviously the Google search is always there. You can seek help from Google. Okay. So these are the problems which so we have done 2 of them. The third one is pending for you to solve, which we will be looking at on Wednesday. That's the first thing we are going to do, and then we are going to continue with this 4th problem. So do one thing, take a note of these 2, quadrant selection and autory. So let me go to this autory as well. So go through this problem once and try to solve it. If it's solved, then good enough. If it's not, then we are going to discuss it on Wednesday. So give it a shot. Try to solve this problem as well. So the homework which you guys will have is to solve quadrant selection and autory. these two problems. So, okay, guys. So, ma'am, that's all from my side. So, if you have something to share.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so we'll be sharing the PPT to all your mail IDs which you have used in your feedback form. So I will mail the contents after sir updated and sent to me. So thank you, Mr. Avigyan. And I will share the feedback from the student side.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
And, so you share the PPT and I will just send to them through mail.
Okay,
Okay.
sure, sure. Okay.
On the day. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for coming and joining the session. Have a
Yes.
good day, guys. Bye bye.
Yes. Thank you. So, and students, since it is the first day session, so try whatever sir said, three programs he has given, right? So, the third program, quadratic selection, is your assignment. So, you'll be giving the PPT. So, I will just send the PPT to you through mail, which you have given in your feedback form. Okay. So, thank you. We'll meet on Wednesday, and please do attend the session until 11th, that is until it gets over from 10 to 11:30. So please inform your friends also. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.